Okay, so another one of those, what part is this? Alright, so today we're looking at the 2003 to 2005 Dodge Neon SRT4 engine harness, the one with the orange plug. So let's take a look at this. Okay, so this is the overall engine harness. This is actually a very nice condition engine harness. Now, there was a tag on here. This says it was pulled. I'm assuming that it was pulled from a running car in, June of 06. So here we go. All right, now your harness will plug into your ECM. That's what the big orange plug is. There is the TPMS sensor, throttle position sensor. There is a idle air, and then this would be the air intake temp. All right, and if we come down the harness here a little bit farther, this here is for the speedometer, and this is for your oil sensor. All right, then this right here plugs into the isolator. This plugs into the fuse box harness. This goes onto the valve cover right here, and this one powers the coil pack. This one is for the cam. This runs to the starter. All right, that wire runs through over to the alternator. We'll just run back this way. Okay, so we have 4, 3, 2, 1 injectors across. Map sensor, oxygen sensor. This plugs into your alternator, and that bolts onto your alternator. Like I said, this one runs through to here to run power over. All right, now this right here, this is your starter solenoid wire. So when you turn your key, it turns your starter on. This one here goes to the crank sensor. This is for your knock sensor right here. This little clip goes onto there on the metal. Let me see here. It keeps wanting to form around here. Okay. This is for the temperature sensor at your thermostat housing. Then both of these go down to the AC unit. I have an engine sitting here, so if I move some stuff out of the way, I can kind of show you how the engine harness lays on the engine. All right, so it runs up around this way. This right here plugs into your alternator, your oxygen sensor. You have your fuel injectors run across the top, your map sensor down through. Then the other part comes down across. I got this tucked up here out of the way. All right, so this will run down to your starter. There's your starter solenoid wire. It runs up your knock sensors down here on the bottom. These two that I was telling you, the gray and the black, that runs down to your AC unit, which is typically down there. And then your temperature sensor is located here. If you come across over to this side and you follow this down, there's your orange plug. There's your throttle position control sensor. This one does have the idle air, and the temperature sensor was cut off of this harness. This one runs up across, plugs into your coil pack. Your cam sensor, your isolator, right here is where that goes. All right, and then that plugs into your main harness back here by the turbo. So hopefully that kind of just explains what the engine harness is, what some of the plugs are. I know I kind of went over stuff pretty fast. So we have alternator, O2 sensor, 4 fuel injector plugs, map sensor, coil, cam. This plugs into the fuse box harness, isolator. The two down here that come off, that is for your oil pressure sensor and your speedometer sensor. Down here by your ECM plug, you have your throttle position control, temperature sensor, and idle air. If you follow it over, this connects to the starter. That's the one that runs to your alternator through the harness. Then you have this one is your crank sensor, starter wire, knock sensor, AC stuff, temperature stuff. All right, so hopefully that at least helps if you want to know where each plug goes and what exactly is the engine harness for the 2003 to 2005 Neon SRT4. It's kind of hard to explain this stuff now. It is 2021 right now. But this was a good example of a harness. And I'm kind of trying to build a parts library. So if there's anything that you want me to go over, let me know. I'm going to go over the parts. I'm going to start adding to this playlist. Thanks for watching.